Welcome to another edition TV Prime Time Show right here. I'm your presenter, Nelson Mike Morioki. And remember, today's broadcast will, as usual, be live streaming on all 5 platforms that are on. That is the VoTV YouTube channel, the Nelson Mike Podcast YouTube channel, the KNEL Facebook page, my private page at Nelson Mike Medam Morioki, and also on Twitter at VoTelevision. Let me also make another announcement that effective tomorrow, VoTV primetime shows will also be broadcasting on 2 extra platforms that I also own, which means effective from tomorrow, 1 broadcast here on VoTV, our primetime show, will be running on 7 platforms at the same time. VoTV is now becoming a 24-hour live stream broadcasting network. Elisama, 6 months ago, I'm building a broadcasting network. I'm not building a YouTube channel. Thank you very much. As I declare the road to 100,000 subscribers. Karibu, those who are tuning in. Karibu. The show today is going to be uncomfortable for some individuals. Let me also give a disclaimer. There is use of graphic language in terms of describing whatever is going on. Today's topic: the Saudi brothel business that is run by Kenyans. Ukweli usemwe, kesi ya Mercy Sakim imenifungua macho mimi, na at the same time it has brought other things into light ambazo mimi mwenyewe sikuwa najua na watu wengi hawakuwa najua. I've been here for over 7 years. This is actually my 8th year running for. And I've fought for the rights of domestic workers. I've rescued domestic workers ambao wanapitia shida. Wengine wameachiliwa kutoka jela. Wengine wameachiliwa kutoka deportation centers. We've done it all on this platform. And even as I'm speaking to you today, kuna watu wako hapa wakisema Nelson nisaidie. Someone is sick. Someone is going through all kinds of shenanigans you can think about. Kwa kafiri wake akitaka usaidizi. Lakini last week I broke a story here. Mkenya amechukua acid, amechoma Mkenya mwenzake, amemuua. And that story has opened a new can of worms na nimeona ule upande mwingine wa Saudi Arabia ambao sikuwa najua. Nilikuwa nafikiria ni fununu tu, but God's timing is the best timing. Let's start by welcoming Wadhaya Waruguru, saying, good morning, Nelson. I see a good job you're doing. Congratulations. Welcome, Wadhaya. Daniel Karanja saying, good morning, my country people. Kariboni, those who are tuning in. Again, like I said, VoTV is now becoming a 24-hour live streaming network. Kariboni. The topic today, the Saudi brothel business that is being run by Kenyans in Saudi Arabia. And I'm going to give a disclaimer that some of the things that I'm going to speak about here, the language is graphic because I'm describing a situation. Let me also thank those who have come forward, wale ambao wamenipigia simu kuniandikia, wengine wakiwa na woga, wakiniambia Nelson, sitaki nijulikane, nikiongea nitafanyiwa, nikiongea nitapigwa vita, and even some have told me, and you'll see, I don't want to go back to Kenya na casket kwa sababu ya kuongea. Allow me to say, I know the power of my platform, and I guarantee you, whatever I'm going to show today, Kenyan news networks are watching, politicians are watching, the Saudi embassy in Riyadh is watching, agencies are watching. Na yale ambao nitaongea leo hii will cause a storm on these social media streets. Over 1,000 testimonies I've received. People telling me what happens and what goes on. In Saudi Arabia. Tumekuwa watu tukisema ya kwamba Mwarabu ndiye anaua Mkenya. Lakini tumeamka tukapata Mkenya ameua Mkenya kwa sababu ya mwanaume. One thing I kept on asking myself the whole time, ni mbona huyu mwanamke alitumia acid? That thing with the acid kept on popping in my brain the whole time, and I kept on thinking about it. I'm like, why the acid? Why the acid? Why the acid? But little did I know that God was driving me in the direction of the source of other heinous crimes that are being committed by our fellow Kenyan brothers and my fellow Kenyan sisters. Wacha niwaambie haya. The story of Mercy Sakim and Sheila is not about Mwarabu na Mkenya. It's a Kenyan on Kenyan crime. But wacha niwaambie yale ambayo nitaongea leo, and I repeat, will raise storms. Umalaya, kujiuza, Gaza kulevya, organ harvesting. Ain't that crazy? The whole time. All we focused on is how we can rescue those who are suffering and how we can rescue those who are in pain. And how we can pass legislations in the parliament, and how we can get the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and how we can get the NEA, and how we can get the Ministry of Labor. But little did I know, there was another virus wa Kenya ndio wanaua Wakenya wenzao. So without any further ado, allow me to present this story. And for the sake of the viewers and everyone who will be coming here, let me say there is use of extreme graphic language. Lakini sita filter, and that's a good thing about YouTube. Because as long as I've given that disclaimer, everything works. And this video is for educational purposes. Are you ready? Are you ready? I hope you are. I'm going to come here. I'm going to make this baby small. Alafu tutaanzia hapa. So right here, let me actually describe that that graphic. I had to edit this picture I received a video of Sheila, or I've received videos za Sheila akiwa uchi na vile yeye huwa anajiuza na yale mambo yeye huwa anafanya. Sheila ni yule msichana ambaye, ama ni yule mama ambaye ameua Mercy Sakim. Hiyo video nitaiachilia kwa hivyo, lakini hapa ilibidi ni edit niweza kupresent vizuri. This was her akiwa kwa bafu and the things she was doing. But let's come up here. Come kote hari. The dark side of Kenyan brothels, business in Saudi Arabia. This is a direct testimony from a whistleblower who has gone through this whole process. The person's name will remain anonymous, won't be mentioned. And she was a victim ambaye aliwekwa na dalala. And the 3 weeks she spent in that house after Kukemboi were hell on earth. Are you ready? Those who are watching, let me start. Brothel is real in Saudi Arabia. Hii inaongelelewa chini ya maji. How does it work? Mkenya ana rent nyumba, then wale makemboi hawataki kufanya kazi, waenda huko, sell their kasusu, hapo mnaelewa, to mostly Pakistan or anyone who wants to buy. Now start taking notes. Mwenye nyumba hulipisha 100 riyals kila siku. That's what they charge. Okay, well, let's start taking notes. So those who are watching, anza kuandika hapo ya kwamba dalala hulipisha elfu moja riyals kila siku, 100 riyal kila siku. Mwenye nyumba hulipisha 100 riyal kila siku na akona nyumba kama 5. How much is she getting? And the house usually have 7 kembois. Let's start doing the calculations right here. Each pay is 100 riyals in a day. As you can see, the whistleblower wrote, "Hide my ID, sitaki kuuliwa, please." As we proceed, Sofia Kinyanjui amesema Saudia ni 2. Nimekubali. So kwa hivyo ukiangalia hapa, hizi nyumba wanaweka hawa wasichana au makemboys wanalipisha 100 riyals a day, alafu wanauzwa kwa mostly Pakistanis or anyone who wants to buy. This includes Waarabu na pia nimetajiwa wa Nigerians. But let's continue. Again, your graphic hapo kama nilivyowaambia, huyu ni, this is Sheila ambaye alimuua Masi Sakim kwa kumchoma na acid. And feel free, if I tell you write in the chat, write in the chat. So write in the chat 100 riyals a day. That's how much they charge. This story is going to get darker and darker as we move on. And you've never seen any other form of presentation like this on any platform. Nowhere. Nowhere. Kwa hivyo nikiwaambia, andika kwa comments, andika kwa chat. So they charge 100 riyals a day. Nyumba moja iko na kemboi kama 7, and these people, they own like 5 houses. So that's what the victim was trying to tell me. Imagine how much they make a day. Welcome to Vote TV. This is a special edition of the Vote TV primetime show. The topic is the Saudi brothel business that is being run by Kenyans. And understanding the power and the magnitude of Vote TV, I guarantee you, journalists will come here and they'll break down this thing and they'll watch it. Politicians are keeping an eye on this thing. Agencies, especially in Kenya, are keeping an eye on this thing. Tuendele. We'll make this thing right here. Let's go back to the chat. So now it gets the process. The second stage, what happens after Kukemboi? So the victim told me and said, after Kukemboi, my dalala took me to that lady. The lady is a Kenyan. By that time, hakukuwa na job. Then, this dalala of mine talked me, nitakuwa napata 1,000 riyals kila siku. The promise. So can someone write there, the promise? The promise was atakuwa napata 1,100 riyal a day after Kukemboi. So akaambia atakuwa napata 1,000 riyals kila siku, but sikujua ni job gani. Woye rekegwere. After kuland huko, wacha tu. What I saw, hell is even better. Let me tell you. I was a victim. I could cry every single day. I stayed like 3 weeks. Niliona kifo na macho. Nilikuwa na regret kukemboi. I could say, afadhali ningevumilia kwa Mwarabu. Are you with me? So what did she do? She continues. I prayed to God and fasted for 6 days. On the 4th day, God answered my prayers. I got a job. This is my 5th month. Nasijabadilisha nyumba. Unless uko kwa ground, no one will tell you the truth. Because huko, kwa hiyo, bizna, kuna pesa. But let me tell the dalalas and those ladies that do have brothels in Saudi, they will never see heaven. Then she said, may they die before their days. Todo, stop there. Yale ambayo huyu msichana alipitia. Anasema yeye mwenyewe, I wish kama ningejua ningeishi kwa Mwarabu, ningevumilia kwa Mwarabu, because of what I went through. Guys, what I'm about to, it's going to get darker. Remember, like I said, the more I'm going to keep on talking about this story, the more the language the language will start getting more graphic. And this is one testimony out of over 1,000 testimonies that have been sent to me since Thursday. Tuendele. There's a graphic. Timu meiona. Woni Jamal. Familia yake niliongea nao jana on the VOTV primetime show. In the middle, this is the killer, Mbani Sheila. This is a psychopath. And right here, that's our sister, Masi Sakim. Ambaye, right now, ni maiti. Jamal, miaka 22, like we were told by the family. Masi, a young mother, ameacha kijana, a son, yatima. Now, this story continues. The conversation of hiding her identity was because she says, because of my safety, you want me to go back in a casket? Land in Saudi one day, or send a private detective, a lady, ndio aende hizo brothel, utanielewa. Ukiingia kwa hizo groups, it's like Illuminati or cults. Nitakunywa muma. Muma is oath. I had this post on my Facebook page last week that was very detailed about how these groups, how they work. Actually, they call themselves the Illuminati, but these are cults. And the members of these cults, it's like they take an oath to protect their interests. But now, let's continue. Yes, sindano ziko, dawa ziko. That's in reference to dawa za kulevya. You know about slaves? Someone to pee or urinate in your mouth. The language will get graphic. Again, for the sake of the viewers, please let me make this disclaimer. There is use of graphic language that might be uncomfortable to the viewers. So viewers' discretion is advised to anyone that will watch this segment of the Vote TV Primetime Show. So let's come here. Let me put that paragraph right here. Yes, sindano ziko, welcome Elsie. Dawa ziko. You know about slaves, and when she talks about slaves, she talks about a sex slave. Then she says, someone to pee or urinate on or in your mouth. You bite someone till amwage. She continues. Sheila ni wengi. Huyu ndiye siku yake ilifika. Masi nao ni wengi wenye kuuliwa hivyo. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to that sentence right here. So let's start here. Yes, sindano ziko, dawa ziko, in reference to dawa za kulevya. Then you know about the slaves, sex slaves, someone to pee or urinate in your mouth. You bite someone till amwage, because they're actually these customers, they love the pain, and that's how they reach orgasm. Just to be very frank about it, those who are coming in, karibu karibu karibu. But then let's look at this paragraph right here, and let me actually highlight that. Tuangalie hapa. Sheila ni wengi, huyu ndiye siku yake ilifika. Masi nao ni wengi wenye kuliwa hivyo. Then she asked me the question, have you ever wondered, mbona Kemboi wanakufa sana kuliko wenye wako contract? Are you following this story? Are you following this breakdown? Sheila si u peke yake. Siku yake ndio imefika. Masi sio Masi peke yake. Kuna wengi wameuliwa kama Masi na watu kama Sheila, ni vile hatujui. That statement sent chills down my body. I got goosebumps. The moment she told me that, I was like, Jesus Christ. And which brings me back to the same statement. I mean, to something that I said before. How many Kenyans have been killed by Kenyans that we don't know, and we always kept on saying, ni Warabu, ni Warabu. And then she mentioned something. She says, Nelson, do you understand that most of these victims ambao wanakufa awako kwa contract? Yes, people like Beatrice Waruguru walikuwa kwa contract. Wanajua waliliwa na Mwarabu. Kuna watu wengi sana ambao nimedocument ambao wameuliwa na Mwarabu. You know their stories. But then she said, Nelson, there's something that is not adding up. Does it make any sense to you? Do you know why most of these Kenyans who are being killed or who are dying hawako kwa contract? I'm giving you this evidence raw. I'm giving you all this evidence raw, and this is my due diligence. And you think this is the only thing I got? I got over 1,000 testimonies since Thursday. I got over 1,000 testimonies since Thursday. There is something that the family of Mercy told me. And this is actually what has given me the courage. Familia ya Mercy iliniambia, listen to this. Nelson, I have a prayer item that God will use you and help and use you to expose all the evil going on in Saudi. We are still in shock of Mercy's death, but God will soon help us to accept it. I'm not doing this for 50 million people. I'm doing what I'm doing here today because of one family, Familia ya Mercy. Tangu ni broadcast story ya Mercy, Familia ya Mercy imekuwa hapa. I've been talking to them. I talk to them directly. Na tangu Mercy ni break historia ya Mercy, Familia ya Jamal, I've been talking to them directly every day. I brought them to the show. So listen to me carefully. I've never been afraid, especially when I know what I'm standing on is the truth and it's going to make a difference. Familia Mercy napanga matanga. Familia Jamal, they don't know the legal repercussions that their son is going to face, and he's only 22 years old. I'm going to challenge all the prayer warriors, all the intercessors who come here every day. I'm telling you right now, rise up. Rise up. Because this is a spiritual warfare and it's going to get bloody. Because we're dealing with people, the likes of Shayla, ambao si binadamu. These are animals. Na wanyama, they will do anything they can to protect their identity and protect their evil acts. They will be on these social media streets with pseudo accounts, locked profiles, mukijita majina funny. Lakini mjue na mnanijua na mnanitambua. Should I continue? Again, remember today's video, there is use of extreme graphic language describing yale ambayo inafanyika Saudia. Now I'm going to bring the first picture. So look at this here. Angalia hapa. Sikiza hapa. It's either you pee on someone or someone pees in your mouth. Such things. This is understanding the nature of sex slavery our sisters are involved in. Salma anauliza, kwani tusitafute kilichotuleta huku jamani? Now, wacha kwanza sasa nionyeshe hii picha ya Sheila. Huyu ni Sheila. Huyu ni Sheila. Hizi ni picha amekuwa akipost kujiadvertise. Now there's something I want to show you here. Angalia hapa. Look at this. Can anyone read this out loud and type it in the comments? Sheila ni wengi Saudia. And this is how they advertise their sex services. I do anal sex with 100 Saudi riyals. You see this? Najionea. Guys, we're getting started. Kuna mambo mtajionea hapa mtashangaa. Mutashanga. And this is someone who left the country kwenda kufanya kazi ya Kadama. And this is someone right now who has killed a Kenyan. This is how they advertise themselves. Which brings me back to the top page. And this information collaborates with what I was being told. Angalia hapa. Tudi hapa juu. Then wale makemboyo wataki kufanya kazi waende huko. Sell their kasusu to mostly Pakistani or anyone who wants to buy. Mwenye nyumba hulipisha 100 riyals kila siku. Are you guys connecting the dots here? The killer right here in the middle. One is Sheila, one is Jamal. One is the victim, Mercy. This is someone who's advertising openly having anal sex. Let me read some comments. Elsie is saying, yani she's advertising kama ni kitu ya maana anauza. This is one shameless woman. Sophia Kinyanjui saying the fear of the Lord is the beginning of the knowledge. Again, welcome to this special edition of Vote TV Primetime Show. A disclaimer. The language that is used to describe the events that are taking place in this country, in this kingdom of Saudi Arabia, by Kenyans is graphic. So let's continue. Now, the whistleblower said, so this is a translation of what she said here. It's either you pee on someone or someone pee on your mouth, such things. But now she even put it more accurately in Kikuyu, and she said also, listen to this. Okamera modo kanua kananake agakomera. Let me actually read this whole paragraph here. Okamera modo kanua kananake agakomera. Wengine unamchapa mpaka anamwaga. He can't fuck with you, but the things you do to him, tigatu. So just for the sake of translation, the opening line, okamera modo kanwa, kananake agakomera, that means you, for lack of trying to be staying politically correct as much as possible, that means you either defecate in that person's mouth or they defecate in your mouth. I mean, that's the nature. That's the nature of evil acts happening in this country. Hii ni mambo inafanywa na Wakenya, Saudia. Sex slaves. Wengine unamchapa mpaka anamwaga. He can't fuck with you, but the things you do to him, tigatu. The whistleblower continues. All kinds of drugs, Zico. So you are ever high, you're not yourself. I mean, when that means they're always high when they're involving or when they engage in this kind of activities. Now, let me also highlight that as well. All kinds of drugs, Zico. So you are ever high, you're not yourself. Anal sex, still equal. All those dirty things in the name of money. Welcome, Majos Computer Solutions. This is a perfect, well-pieced investigative report that I've done. Let me read some comments. Raul saying, oh my God, that's so satanic and disgusting at the same time. We need to wake up and pray. Hisi kawaida. Elsie Melissa saying Saudi has turned to be like Sodom and Gomorrah. May God have mercy. This is total madness. Sabina Wanga is tuned. And Majos Computer Solutions saying, good morning. And this needs to be taken seriously. So are you following me now up to this point? So let's run this thing again. Let's do a summary. There's defecation. Either they defecate in their mouth or they defecate in your mouth. That's how they work. That's how they work it out. Number two, in a second. While they are doing this, they are on drugs. Huwezi ukafanya vitu kama hizi ukiwa normal. So they are ever high. Number three, there's anal sex. There's anal sex. All those dirty things in the name of money. Najua kuna wazazi wako Kenya sahi. Ambao wako na watoto Saudia. Watasikia hizi mambo. Wataanza kuita Mungu. Na kuna mzazi atasema, I hope my child is not doing this. But the truth is, kuna mzazi yuko Kenya, mtoto wake ako huku akifanya hizi mambo. But are you hearing the nature of evil acts they're involved in? And these are Kenyans controlling other Kenyans. This investigative report continues. The language will get darker, more graphic. But like I said before, for the sake of the family of Mercy and for the sake of Familia Jamal, there is no stain of fear in my DNA. In Yaibo. We can't have this both ways. And that's why people are here dying every day. And we're here thinking the whole time, Nimarabu, hapana. Sheila ni wengi. Wengi wamekufa kama masi. Ni vile hatujui. Maybe it's the high time we revisit all those deaths that we have been reporting and we start running an accurate analysis to find out. To find out exactly who's involved. Can I continue? If you're new here, feel free to subscribe to the channels, like and share. If you want to join me as a guest on video, on camera, the Vote TV WhatsApp number is on the screen. Text me and I'll send you the link and you can join me and we can have this conversation. Let's continue. So I'll go back here. Tuendelee. Now, this picture here, hii picha ambayo mnaona hapa, you see this? Huo ni Sheila. And this is a video that I have. Niko na about 5 videos of Sheila. Akiwa uchi. And this is how they market themselves. This is how they sell themselves, even if wanajiuza. Kumbuka, she is not alone. And at this point, ashaua. Can I continue? Let's continue. Payment. Payment. So let's look at the payment. Slaves is the one paid well. 1,000 riyals to 3,000 riyals. Anal sex, 800 riyals to 1,000 riyals. And guys, I want you to walk with me as I present each and every piece of evidence. So right here, like I said, I repeat again, when you're a slave, when they do this as a sex slave, they get paid 1,000 riyals to 3,000 riyals. That's where a lot of money is. Anal sex is 800 riyals to 1,000 riyals. Now, the victim continues and told me how she was introduced to the business. Let's continue. I was just introduced to the business. First day, no client wanted me. The second day, nikaenda kwa huyo madam, akanitafutia client. One shot, 100 riyals. Anachukua 50 riyals na baki na 50 riyals. Guys, are you seeing how all this evidence is coming is piecing up together? So let's read this. Let's check this info again. I was just introduced to the business. The first day no client wanted me. The second day nikaenda kwa huyo madam akanitafutia client. Shoti moja, rial 100. And then the dalala will take 50 rials. Na anabaki na 50 rials. Let's go back up here. You see this one right here? This is Sheila. Si ndio huyo? Amejiadvertise aje? I do anal sex for 100 Saudi riyals. So do you see how all this information comes together? I mean, do you see this? There you go. In her graphics, she's advertising 100 Saudi riyals for anal sex, and then you come down here, the victim saying, kwa hivyo hiyo 50 riyals, hiyo 100 riyals, bado inakata 50%. Guys, keep on watching this. Then she says, let's continue. But let me highlight that whole paragraph. Slaves, I couldn't make it. I refused, and that's when I went back on my knees and fasted and cried to God. Now there was one piece of confession. Look at this. Anal sex I did. Sema uchungu. Wacha tu. Sijui kama niliharibika. Tiga tu. And this is the one that she was paid 100 riyals for one shot. You see this? You see this? Then let's continue. Next point. Hii sasa nilifanya nisikie ngunyerere. UTIs ni mingi. We share the same client, hakuna hata kuoga. I had a very bad UTI. Sexual infected diseases. STDs, man. I mean, sexually transmitted diseases. But I got a medication after kupotea huko Kenya sijapimwa ni HIV. You see all this stuff here? We share the same client, hata hakuna kuoga. Now, this will get more, the language will get more graphic, and that's why I'm saying, please, viewers' discretion is advice. And that's a disclaimer that I also put at the beginning of this video. Tuendele. That's the life of Kemboi. Fanya research ujue mbona Kemboi wanakufa zaidi kuliko wenye wako contract. Most dalalas ni wa Kenya. Bronze, welcome. Most dalalas ni wa Kenya. Wenye wako na hizo brothels still ni wa Kenya. Huko kwa comment, she was referring to comments on YouTube na Facebook, hutapata hizi vitu. Juu mtu anaogopea life yake. But I thank God kunitoa huko. I'm now working in a good family. It's my 5th month now. and I will work for some time and then go back to Kenya. I do some tests. But I hope and believe I'm okay. Now, then I was nikamuliza, can you briefly explain, okay, what exactly were you involved in as you were, and let's go back here. Because the next piece will also be graphic. So in the conversation, because listen, I'm trying every testimony that was coming through and every person that was calling me and texting me and all this stuff, I had to piece all the evidence together and see if it actually collaborates with other testimonies which I have. And I want to say this, all these testimonies, although I've received like over 1,000 testimonies, all these testimonies, they have the same elements. Dalala in Kenya. And by the way, these are they are mostly Kikuyus. Just our feature. Then mambo za madawa za kulevya. It's adding up in all of these testimonies. You see the element of drug use in all of these testimonies. Is it making sense? Is it making sense? So I then questioned her, okay, you were there for 3 weeks. Can you just briefly explain what you had to do? Then she confirmed the anal sex part. Alikuwa nalipwa 100 reals. Na akilipwa 100 reals kwa huyu customer, the dalala anachukua 50%. This is crazy. That's per customer. Alafu kumbuke ya kwamba kwa hiyo room wanalipa 100 reals a day. This is crazy, boy. This is crazy, boy. This is crazy. This is nuts. But let me continue. Let's see how she described some of the things that she was doing. And again, I'm going to tell you, this is graphic. Let's come here. So in here, she was describing the description here is that at one point, she was serving 3 men at the same time. Get this clear. At one point, she was serving 3 men at the same time. And she describes one on my ass, mwingine on my pussy, then kuna mwenye nanyonya. And you expect I forgive who your mama? Now she's referring to the dalala. Anita Wanja, yes, you're gonna need strength to finish this broadcast. But again, I knew what I was getting into, and that's why I've given a disclaimer to this broadcast. But again, also, this investigative report is for educational purposes and raising awareness. Let's read comment here. Arouse Bless who's saying 50%, my good Lord. Hata Mungu hutaka just 10% from us. Crying. But look at look at what he had to do here. You're serving 3 men at the same time. Umetoka Kenya vizuri, umeacha watoi. Umeenda Saudia kufanya nini? Fanya kazi ukiwa domestic worker, then unajipata kwa mambo kama hizi. Anita Wanja, again, another confirmation I can tell you, yes, Kikuyus are the majority when it comes to this dalala business. She continues, Mimi, I will never forgive my dalala and the madam wa brothel. Ni uchungu kufanyia mtoto wa mtu hizo vitu. Hawana utu ndani yao. They are animals. Again, everything collaborates. Remember, I've been saying since nianza kudili na kesi ya Sheila, I've been saying, I said Sheila is a psychopath. Calling her an animal is a compliment. Nimekuwa nikisema hizo vitu zote, and then everything collaborates with the testimonies that I'm getting from different people. Now, angalia hapa sasa. This is the one that actually this one here gave me chills. For the victims like me, we managed to get out of the business. Twashukuru sana. Now listen, no condoms used. If you get pregnant, unaambia madam, abortion haraka haraka. Hata ukiwa na periods, hataki kujua. Other slaves want to suck your period. Reke guire. Only God akuje na asitumane. Let's actually pause at this point. We have to pause at this point right here. Give me a second. Are you following all this? Are you hearing all this? Are you seeing all this? You see, it's interesting because if you go back to history, the genesis of slavery was not white people buying black men or black women. It was black men selling other black men. That's the history of slavery. If you look at the history of colonialism, even back in Kenya and back in Africa, it started with black people selling each other. The white man was just playing with the system. And this is the same thing here. Hawa ni Wakenya ambao wanauza Wakenya wengine. Am I making sense here? What's 1 + 1? It's not 4. It's equals 2. A Kenyan dalala who has her own room, books in 7 Kimbois in one room, has a price for each and every one of them. They're sourcing customers. You have Pakistanis, you have Nigerians, you have Arabs. This is the bread, this is the cut, this is how much I get. And we are here saying no more slavery. Then you wake up in the morning, then we find, okay, you know what? Somebody has been killed with acid. Tunaanza kushangaa. Ain't this crazy? And that's why each and every time I come here and I say, hey guys, these are spiritual warfares, these are spiritual attacks, these are demonic attacks, they go crazy because they know it's the truth. And by the way, Leo, pay attention. Leo, kwa Facebook, na TikTok, na YouTube, there will be 1 million pseudo accounts because that's how they operate. Watakuwa kila mahali with pseudo accounts, locked profiles, especially kwa Facebook. Ziko locked profiles zote. All of them are locked profiles. That's how they operate. These gangs, that's how they operate. Shame on you can't even show your own face. Let's continue. Again, remember my disclaimer. There's use of the graphic language. So again, for the victims like me, we managed to get out of the business. Twashukuru sana. No condoms were used. If you get pregnant, unaambia madam, abortion haraka haraka. So again, hizi mambo za abortions, ni wangapi wamekufa wakitoa mimba? Hata ukiwa na periods hataki kujua. Other slaves, they want to suck your period. All that nonsense. Then here, here she was just, and here another, this paragraph right here is just a description of some of the activities that she was involved in. Okay, saying yale ambayo amepitia, even now she has nightmares. She was serving up to 3 men at a time. Ndio nasema moja ako nyuma, mwingine ako nyuma, alafu kuna mwenye unanyonya. Three men at the same time. She says it's such a bad experience. Yes, it traumatizes someone. I dream on such things. I don't like sleeping because when I sleep, she dreams about it. She gets nightmares. This is the truth. This is the reality of what she has to deal with now. This is the post-trauma of everything she had to do in that house. Then to conclude, she said, mambo iko mingi, masaa ndio machache hii Saudia. Kukemboi sio mbaya. Afadhali ukemboi kuliko ukufe kwa marabu. But dalala ni goma shiafio. Hao ni mashetani. Then she kept on telling me the whole time, I wish I have one connection to get a private detective to rescue many ladies out there. Because each time itakuwa Mkenya amekufa Saudia, ati Mwarabu ameua Mkenya. Wapi? Sio Warabu. Dalala. Then she said, Guishio, calling them dogs. Then she said, kwanza huyo madam, penye nilikuwa ni Mkamba. Na hutumia babu kuleta client unatibiwa. This what I've shown you today this is the reality. This right here. Let me hear your thoughts. Nitasoma comments tukiendelea. And then I'm gonna bring something else. Taka tuingie hapa. This is what I want to share. Let me make this one small. Alafu ikae hivyo. This is how the story started. Woni Masi, Sakim, Woni Jamal. You know how this story imeenda. And basically, those who are watching, Basically everything I've described ni about huyu mwanamke, na kuna wengi kama huyu na wale ambao wanafanya, and that's why she felt untouchable, hawezi guzwa. Then let's go back to the evidence ambayo nilikuwa nimepatiwa. This is Jamal akiwa kwa hospitali, but then let's look at especially where I started asking questions mimi mwenyewe. Let's start with this story here. Tuanze na hii story. Few weeks ago, about 3-4 weeks ago, familia ya Julia Wamoyo walinitumia message wakaniambia kwamba they mtoto wao hawaja communicate naye for 7 months. I went on my Facebook page. Na mnakumbuka vizuri. I went on my Facebook page, I put the story out, and in less than 2 days, tukapata information ya kwamba Julia Wamoyo ako kwa mochari in Saudi Arabia. The family hadn't heard from her for over 7 months. I put the story out, and within 48 hours, tunapata information ya kwamba Julia Wamoyo amekufa, amepatikana kwa mochari. And then something else happened with the Julia Wamoyo case. Mnakumbuka, I even brought the brother was here. Paul alikuwa hapa. Shout out to Paul Washira. The cousin was here. Waderito was here. Walikuwa hapa. And then guess what? Naambiwa mwili ya Julia Wamoyo iko Saudi Arabia, lakini ile simu ambayo alikuwa anatumia akiwa Saudia ilipotrakiwa inapatikana iko Nairobi. In Kenya. Mwili ya Julia iko Saudia, lakini simu yake iko Kenya. After being tracked. This case is a criminal investigation. How is that possible? And now brings me to the next case. Again, same story. Now, in fact, I'll try to nitajaribu kuona kama nitapata familia ya Magi, kwa sababu nimekuwa I've been trying to get them to come live. Nimeongea na mamake, nimeongea na the niece, everyone from the family. Last week, family ya Magi imeniandikia kwamba Magi for 6 months hawajaongea. Nelson, tafadhali help us to find Magi. Tusaidie tupate mtoto wetu. And guess what? I went on my Facebook page, I put the story up. The same day, nikapata information ya kwamba Magi ako mochari, amekufa. The same day I put the story ya kwamba Magi, I put the post on my Facebook page ati Magi has been missing for 6 months, for 4 months. Nikasema nani ameona Magi? The same day tunaambiwa hapana, Magi ako mochari. And then here I am, and I'm asking myself this, I'm like, what the hell is going on? Nikiangalia death certificate ya Magi, Magi amekuwa mochari since the 6th of March 2022. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. This is the 8th month. This is the 8th month. Hizi miezi 8 Magi amekuwa mochari. Mweza kuniambia hakuna mtu mmoja mmoja rafiki ya Magi alijua Magi amekufa, apigie mamake simu, apigie familia yake simu. One person. It's only until I put the story on my Facebook page ndio kweli umejulikana. It even gets better. Magi alikuwa Kemboi, Julia alikuwa Kemboi. Hey guys, are you all putting all these things together? Are you all putting all this stuff together? Because I'm asking you a question. Is this a coincidence? Who's getting my point here? Is this a coincidence? Julia went missing 7 months ago. I put the story out. Oh, amekuwa mochari, amepatikana kwa mochari. Okay, for those 7 months, mtaka kuniambia hakuna msichana ama Kemboi walikuwa best yake ya Julia, hakuna msichana mmoja ambaye hakuwa na simu ya Julia apigia familia yake simu. But then in the Julia case it even gets better because mwili ya Julia iko Saudia, lakini simu ile ambayo alikuwa anatumia iko Kenya. Is this making sense to you? Yule mtu alibeba simu ya Julia kutoka Saudia sababu ni Mkenya, si Mwarabu. Wataka kuniambia kwamba hiyo simu hakukuwa na contact ya mamake Julia? That we had to know that Julia is dead after I put the story on my Facebook page? Julia Kemboi dead, found in the mortuary in the morgue after 7 months. Here we go. Magi Kemboi dead, found in the morgue after 8 months. Is all this adding up? Are you not getting it now? And now come back to the piece, to what the whistleblower has told me. Na wengi Nelson fanya investigation, wasichana wengi wanakufia huku nje, wanakufia Saudia, hawako under contract, wako ni Makemboi. That makes sense to me now. Na ndio sababu nimesema ya kwamba we really have to go back, turudi, tuanze kuangalia ni wangapi wamekufia Saudia, point number 1. Number 2, walikuwa ni Makemboi. And number 3, start analyzing how they died. Again, hatuongei mambo ya wale ambao wameuliwa under contract na Mwarabu kwa sababu wako. But my point is, tumeamka tukapata msichana ama mshosho ama mumama ameua Mkenya mwenzake na acid juu ya mwanaume. And again also, let's look at this. Masi pia alikuwa Kemboi. Walk with me. Walk with me here. Because God is revealing something in this whole mess. And I'm calling this for me. Actually, let me actually give you a revelation. A revelation. No, let me give you a confession. This is my confession here. Ile siku, and I'll repeat, ile siku Rehema alifika airport. Ile siku Rehema alifika airport. Nimemtoa Iraq. I retired. That was my official retirement. But there was something else that was left. Nimekuwa hapa for 7 years. This is my 8th year. Nikifanya hii kazi. And all the time I've always focused on what? Fighting for human rights, advocating for human rights for the domestic workers, advocating for their safety, advocating for their protection, all those things. Lakini this here has happened for a reason, and I thank God for it. Kwa sababu Mungu umenifungua macho ingine ambao nilikuwa nimeyafunga. Nilikuwa kipofu, sikuwa nayaona. So me, I'm the person who can break this thing perfectly for a normal thinking human being to understand. And everything which I'm saying backed with facts, backed with testimonies, backed with evidence. Let's go back here. Again, Masi alikuwa ametoka kwa contract. Huyu Shosho huo ni OG wa mauaji. Huo ni victim Jamal. Look at this. Huo ni Sheila. This is how they advertise for their services. I do anal sex for 100. Yote msimejionea. How cheap can you be? But all that I've explained today. There you go. That's how they operate. And by the way, for Sheila, I have like about 10 of these videos. Julia Oranawe alikuwa Kemboi. Found dead after 7 months. Simu iko Kenya. Maggie, 6-7 months. And these 2 cases here is after I posted them on my Facebook page. Ndio anapatikana. So let me come back here. And I want you to help me to answer one simple question. Julia hakuwa na mabeshte au makemboi walikuwa nao, ama wasichana walikuwa naishi nao? Hakuwa na mabeshte? I'm asking you these questions. You're watching here with me. I want you to be an active audience. Because this is a very simple equation. One month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months. Familia hawajui kule mtu yuko. And then I put the story on my Facebook page the same day, 2 days later. Tunaambiwa amepatikana mochari. Kesi ya Maggie. Same thing. Exactly. Waliogopa kuongea. Kwa nini waliogopa kuongea? Waliogopa kuongea kwa nini? Exactly. Baby, that's why I like you. Lazima wenzake wanajua ni nini ilimuua. That's why they kept quiet. In other words, kifo cha Magi tusiwekelee Mwarabu. Kifo cha Julia wa Moyo tusiwekelee Mwarabu. And the one, this is very obvious. Kifo cha Mercy Sakim si Mwarabu amemuua. Exactly. Are we now all together? Are we on the same page? Is my explanation clear? Is my presentation crystal clear? Helen Jogona, because unajua nini kilimuua. That's right. Nimekuwa nikisema ya kwamba VOTV, I'm running the news cycle in Kenya. VOTV has become a platform that news networks are coming to source for what they will talk about. VOTV, that's how powerful this platform has become. As I'm talking to you, Jana, the family of Karembo in Malindi reached out to me kuniambia kwamba msichana wao amekufia Iraq. As I'm talking to you, I just got the notification right now ya kwamba Bahari FM imeandika, and I read, familia Malindi inaomba msaada wa kuleta mwili wa binti yao aliyefariki nchini Iraq alikokwenda kufanya kazi. Karembo Kingi aliaga dunia Agosti mosi. I broke this story yesterday. Si mlikuwa hapa? VOTV, huduma kwa wote. Ahmad Salim, thank you. Baby, it's loud and clear. As I'm talking to you, hata nilipokuwa nafanya hii live stream, sistake alikuwa ananipigia, alikuwa ananiandika, alikuwa ana record voice notes. She can't write or read, so she records voice notes kunitumia. And let me see kama kuna network mzuri. Apokee. Give me a second. So this is where I'm coming from. And let me say I'm very humble because all these cases that I'm breaking here, these are original cases that come directly from the parents, the families, or the victims. I don't jump on other YouTube channels to go and look for content to come and talk about on my channel. VOTV has been built by originality, and I will stick to it. That's why right now pale tumefika, kama msimeangalia program right now, 24 hours of live streaming. That's how much I have. This is a broadcasting network. So again, asante kwa Bahari FM meripoti historia Karembo. It's a sad story. Let me actually play you some of the voice notes.
Ni mzaliwa Malindi Myeye. Alisafiri mwezi wa 12 kuelekea Iraq, lakini kufika mwezi wa 7 ndo akapata umauti. Tumejaribu kwa
so amekuwa akirekodi
nashindwa na kukuelezea vizuri kwa sababu
so sistake what she does is she can't write, so she records voice notes. So let me just give you an idea.
Mimi namshukuru Mungu niko poa. Dadangu alisafiri mwezi wa 12. Lakini agent nilimuongelesha kutokea mwanzo kabla hajafariki. Nikamwambia dadangu hawezi kukutafuta halafu wewe hauingi online kila wakati. Sasa huyo agent akanambia kwamba wasichana wengi wakipelekwa huko ni sia, lakini si kwamba dadako ni mgonjwa. Nikamwambia hapana, huyu ni mtu mzima, hawezi kujifanyisha eti ni mgonjwa na si mgonjwa. Kwa hiyo agent, nakuomba unisaidie kwa hili, kwa sababu dadangu mahali kwenye yuko hata hawezi. Tafadhali agent. Lakini agent alitoka akasema, wewe muongeleshe dadako, umpatie moyo aendelee na kazi. Haya. Akatoka online. Siku ya pili yake nikamwambia hapana, dadangu ni mgonjwa, vipi wewe huko unafikiriaje? Akaniambia kwamba nimepata ripoti kutoka kwa bosi wake. Yeye alipata bosi mzuri sana. Alipata bosi mzuri. Kamwambia wewe Waarabu unasema ni wazuri sana.
Let me actually pause it there kwa sababu I have I want this to be a story on its own. Let's go back to what I was talking about. Boaz rap saying, I always ask myself more questions why Kenyans we are fighting each other, and yet tumeenda kusaka kusaidia familia zetu. Mungu atusaidie sana. Naomi Njoki, but wakiwa mtu siwapeana information mapema ndio familia ijipange. What I've explained to you today, sijakuja hapa ati hearsays or whatever. It's something that I've taken my time, listened to all the testimonies that I've reached. I want to say thank you very much. I want to say thank you very much to all that have come out kuongea and telling me the truth. Na kama nilivyowaambia, your identities will be protected. I will not reveal your identities. Najua wengine wako na woga kabisa, wanasema tukiongea tutauliwa, tutafanyiwa. Nilipoanza kufuatilia kesi ya Masi, the ones that were giving me the information walikuwa napigiwa simu na kufrataniwa. So this is it. So I really thank them. Thank you for speaking the truth fearlessly. And after what I've done today and what I've explained today, I'm not just talking, I'm giving you facts. Because I have a responsibility to give you facts and give you the truth and do my due diligence. Na mimi naambia Mungu shukran. Na nimeambia Mungu, this is my closing chapter. Rehema alipofika airport, niliretire. My job was finished. But what I'm doing now, Mungu anaendelea kufungua milango zingine, kunifungua macho, kunambia angalia pale mwanangu, angalia pale. This cannot work if this is not fixed. We can't expect to have peace in Saudi Arabia if this deployment system is broken. That's a legislative measure. But we cannot expect to have peace in Saudi Arabia kama Wakenya wanaendelea kuuana. Mi sio Sankok. Mimi sio Jimmy Gate. I own the biggest platform that ever stood up against oppression of my people. My petition was passed in the parliament last year, November 29th. So my language is different. Nimeokoa wengi mimi mwenyewe kutoka hiyo Saudia. And trust you me, I know my platform reaches out to millions of people, and when I speak, they listen. Elizabeth Chemutai, may God use you as a vessel, Nelson. May He protect you always. Thanks for helping our fellow Kenyans in Gulf. God is exposing the dark side of our brothers and sisters. There is more ahead. It's true. Oh, tu ni mwanzo. Allow me to also say I'm very humbled. Thank you very much, Familia Julia. Thank you. Familia ya Magi. Thank you. I'll bring the Familia Magi hapa musikie. Because I've been talking, nimekuwa nikiongea na mamake, nimeongea na the whole family ya Magi. The nieces are calling me. And Magi was only 29 years old. Only 29 years old. Miaka 29. Nimepokea death certificate leo. Only 29 years old. This is the truth. And nothing but the truth. So help me God. The devil is not happy right now, I can tell you that. The devil is not happy right now. Because now I've entered the devil's territory now. But let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a lion bow down to a chicken? Have you ever seen a lion bow down to a chicken? That's why you can't show your face. That's why you are on these social media streets with locked profiles and fake names and fake profiles and fake everything, because everything that you do is fake. The truth is out. Na kuanzia leo, by the way, pay attention. Go to these Facebook groups and see how many locked profiles. People who comment to share zingine mbaya sana. Go and check, their profiles are locked. They try that nonsense on my Facebook page all the time. Locked profiles, locked profiles. You forget that I have a technology that I can tell anything about the profile page that I'm looking at. I can tell exactly when it was created, where it was created, your IP address, everything. I'm a different breed when it comes to this technology. lakini ukweli ni Wakenya wanaua Wakenya wenzao. We have to go back and start looking at all the lives that have been lost in Saudi Arabia, na tuangalie tena what really cost. Those deaths. But there's also another dark reality, ya kwamba kuna wazazi Kenya ambao hawatawahi pokea watoto wao kwa sababu waliuliwa na akatupwa mbali. Kuna watoto nyumbani ambao hataweza pokea mama zao. And some of you mko kwa my inbox mkisema, Nelson, mtoto wangu alienda 2015, 2014, 2016, 2017, 2018. And the sad reality is they are not here. And no one is here to account for their death or even know how they died. Umesikia vile? And this is also has been confirmed by multiple sources. Hizi abortions wanapelekwa, when they go wrong or when they go bad, mtu akikufa, they just chop their bodies and they dump them in a dustbin and wanamwagilia acid. So hii story ya acid, ya huu mwanamke hapa, hii ni kitu amefanya, ni kitu amezoea, ni kitu anajua. And I thank God again for helping me piecing that thing together, because the first time nilipoambia kwamba Sheila alimwagilia Mercy acid na Jamal acid, I kept on asking myself, why acid? And where do you get acid? Where do you get all that acid? Lazima ingekuwa ni kama mtungi mzima hivi acid. Uweze kumwagilia mtu. Mercy alikuwa amechomeka 75%. Jamal unaona upande wake let me make this thing bigger. Tunikuja hapa Jamal, na mlisikia tukiexplainiwa na familia yake. Give me a second. Okay, there you go. Now, Jamal mkono wake wa kushoto huu, this one here, hakuwa na nyama. Ngozi yote ilikuwa imetoka. Ilibidi akatwe. They were getting pieces of flesh from here, alafu wanabandika huku. Hii mkono yake ya kushoto. Where do you get all this acid from? Kwa hivyo ni vitu wanafanya. Huyu si mara yake ya kwanza kuua. Ni vitu wanajua. So guys, huku inaelekea saa 8 za usiku. I'll end this broadcast. Please go on the YouTube page, go on my Facebook page and have a look at the schedule for today. Have a look at which live streams we have today. If you're new here, like, share, subscribe to the channel. I speak courage, fearlessly and eloquently, and I've done so today. And I will handle and deal with any consequences that will come with it. Thank you very much. I do appreciate you. Vo TV, huduma kwa wote. And I'm calling this the road to 100,000 subscribers. Let's bring the silver plaque home. We can do it. Not we can do it, we will do it. Share the word. Now you know. Tupatane baadaye. Bye-bye.